So they had very intense careers. They loved it. I can say that their hobby became their career. And let's not forget that we came to Israel. They were immigrants at 40 years old.
Wow.
They had to learn the language.
What year was that?
1990.
1990, okay.
Yeah, I was almost 6 years old. For me, it was nothing. It's like I was growing up.
Yeah.
And they did everything in their power to make me feel comfortable.
It's amazing.
But they had to build themselves from scratch to learn the language, to earn some money.
What did they do over there?
Over there, music professionals.
Mm-hmm.
My father was working in a music theater. He was conducting an orchestra. Yes.
He's the guy with the stick?
Exactly, the guy with the stick.
I never understood what the guy with the stick does exactly.
He's doing the magic.
Shalom from your Jerusalem. This is Shlomo Ben Zaken of Remax Momentum. I am so glad to have with us in the Ulpan, in our studio, Natasha Gluzman from Remax Israel.
Hi, Shalom.
Wow.
Shalom,
this is
everyone.
a big thing for me, I got to tell you. I mean, I had Gil, and now I have Natasha. Wow. And
it's a huge thing for me, too.
Next
so
Bernard.
Thank you.
Maybe Bernard.
All right, let's do this.
That's your invitation, Bernard. You can come. Okay, good. So we're doing an interview with you in English this time.
Yeah.
And you did a interview with Leslie, and it was all in Hebrew in a whole different direction. But I want to take this more into the Remax side of things and what you're doing at Remax. So first, give people a little glimpse into your life. Come on, a little more private here. Let's go. Like, what's your life like besides Remax?
Besides Remax, so it's hard not to include Remax because I've been with Remax for about almost 10 years.
Wow.
Besides Remax,
what year did you start, by the way?
I'm sorry.
What year did you start in Remax?
I think it was 2013, January.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
I started in 2012.
So yeah, exactly the same time.
Ah, that's right, about a year off.
Yeah, I started as a young professional, no kids, newlywed, and now
I remember this. Yes.
Yeah, and now I'm a mom of 2 kids, 2 bandits. She is 7 years old, or is 5 years old. I'm happily married to Roy. We live in Kfar Yona. You can have a dog, 2 rabbits.
That I didn't know.
See, good that we're talking.
Wow. So besides your musical instruments, I know you play music as well, right?
I have a zoo.
Okay, so tell us a little more about. First of all, what are your hobbies? What do you like doing?
My hobbies, I love dancing.
Wow.
You didn't know that too, either.
No, I knew you're sportai, like runner or something like that.
That's more
I didn't know you're into
therapeutic.
dancing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's more therapeutics. The running, the jogging, it's clearing my mind. It's funny when somebody's asking me what do I do for a living. I give services. I give services to broker owners, to agents, and I give services at home. I cook as a chef. Just kidding.
Really? Are you like a gourmet?
No,
cook?
but I have to feed my kids.
Oh, okay.
So, Mom, make me this. I'm hungry. That. I want a schnitzel and a pasta at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, they eat like crazy. So I give food services, and then they want to hug, so I give love services, and then they're tired, and they need, you understand, right?
I understand it from a guy's point of view, but not from a wife, but I know what my wife has to do in between everything else, and it's like major multitasking.
Exactly. So in the mornings when I run, it's like nobody wants, or even nobody's awake at 5 a.m. and can say, Ima, bring me, or Mom, bring Natasha, where is? So it's my peace of mind. But my hobby, is dancing, you asked.
So how do you, we say in Hebrew, leshalev, how do you put those things together? How do you balance everything between your work? I know you're very driven. You work hard, okay? I mean, if there's someone who works hard in Remax, it's you. And I can tell that everyone knows that. And I, Gil, and the whole staff. The whole staff. But you're a really hard worker. And you're really... I think when there was a Zoom this morning, and you're very professional. Like, in other words, the product that before you give a Zoom, you prepare it very well. That's at least what I what I get it from the other side. You don't just throw something out there. Okay, let's just do it. You really prepare very well.
I need control. I need to know what I'm saying, and this is why this interview is totally fresh for me, because I have zero control.
No control. This is fantastic.
Yeah, so I prepare everything, and then I know what's going to happen. I control the situation.
It's great. So how do you balance your work and family life? And are there things that you have to give up on the family side or on the work side? How does it work out for you?
That's a rough question, I have to say.
Sorry if it's uncomfortable.
No, it's a good one. I think it's a.
I remember that you once interviewed. Was it Tamar Levine?
Yes, that was one of the top
and I listened. That
interviews.
Was a great interview. Yeah,
she's amazing. Yeah, but let's talk about her. 8 kids.
Yes.
1 million shekels agents in a year, and she has twins inside of the 8. And you can talk with her about balancing.
It's amazing. I don't know how she balances that. Whereas there's only 24 hours in a day.
You know what she told me?
I would love to hear.
She's like, Natasha, it's much harder for you with 2 kids and a career than it is for me.
She gets to delegate. The older ones take care of the younger ones. There's some truth to that, but
I don't know.
Let's be real. Come on, you still got to deal with dressing 8 kids. I mean, it's not. She's making it sound easier than
exactly.
it is. Exactly.
She's so modest.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's amazing, and actually, I learned a lot from her interview. If you haven't listened, you have to.
Definitely look up that podcast on.
Story by Remax.
Story. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find it.
We should push your podcast. Talk about your podcast.
I will
later. Okay, but let's get back to your balancing act.
It's this. Everything lies there because, and I'm dealing with this question a lot. Am I giving up something when I had my first daughter and I came back to work, I was asking, am I giving up my time with her by being at work or vice versa? And I think the answer is that no matter what I do in life, I love it. What I do professionally, I hope that it shows. I love teaching, I love training, I love consulting, I love working with broker owners, agents, trainers, recruiters. I love working with people. And so you say hard work, for me, is just doing more of what I love.
Right.
And I love my kids.
Is there any guilt ever? Okay, I have to do this meeting, and it means I have to take away time from my kids. I mean, is that a difficult decision?
I don't think it's difficult.
How do you justify it, Kilo? How do you say, okay, you know what? I got to do this or whatever. What goes through your head when this happens? When you have, I have the same thing. But I'm much more than my wife takes care of, home stuff. I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Yeah. Very, 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 very lucky. But great wife. But the great wife, great life. But the point is that really.
I hope my husband says.
But the truth is, I have that. It's
the guilt.
No, there's a little guilt as well. That I can't take a day off sometimes when I want, and the kids want to go somewhere. It's not a simple thing. And to spend some time, you have to go to this, to that. I do my best to obviously to be at every single. If there's a ball game, if there's something, something, I would definitely. But there are times you just can't. And so, what goes through your head? How do you deal with that in your mind?
I'll give you a glimpse to my crazy mind.
Mind of Natasha.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I got to learn your mind today.
Don't tell anyone.
No, our secret.
Okay, fine.
But I'll tell you this. When she was born, I realized that she got out, and guilt and fear came inside my body, and they are locked there, and I have to live with them.
So you do have guilt, huh?
I have guilt because you can't be 100% to give your time 100% in all of your, let's say, positions in life, unless you decide and this is your true choice. I grew up with career-wise parents. They had crazy careers. They still have. They're 73, 72 years old.
Oh.
And
Ad 120. In health, in good health, yes.
Exactly. That's the secret.
That's the thing, not just the goal and not have to depend on everyone.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing, yeah.
So they had very intense careers. They loved it. I can say that their hobby became their career. And let's not forget that we came to Israel. They were immigrants at 40 years old.
Wow.
They had to learn the language.
What year was that?
1990.
1990. Okay.
Yeah, I was almost 6 years old. For me, it was nothing. It's like I was growing up.
Yeah.
And they did everything in their power to make me feel comfortable.
It's amazing.
But they had to build themselves from scratch to learn the language, to earn some money.
What did they do over there?
Over there, music professionals. My father was working in a music theater. He was conducting an orchestra. Yes.
He's the guy with the stick?
Exactly, the guy with the stick.
I never understood what the guy with the stick does exactly.
He's doing the magic.
It's totally magic, right? It's nothing like listening to I know was your brother or something?
It was, listen, it's so easy in my family. Yeah. Everybody are in music.
That's amazing.
Besides me and my grandma. My grandma is a doctor.
You don't play music?
I used to play the clarinet.
Oh, because I remember seeing like your Zooms and you're next to a piano.
Yeah. So the Zooms and the Facebook Live that we used to do during COVID.
Corona time, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to run away from home in order to broadcast quietly.
Wow.
Because other than that, I don't know if you remember, but we had a convention online with, I think, 600, 700 people.
Definitely remember
Both of my kids were sitting on my lap and I was talking. Wow. So I thought that doing the live show or the Zoom would be a bad idea with them around. So I crossed 2 streets and I came to my parents' house. And their office have a piano because my mother is a piano teacher. Oh. So this is the piano.
So it's your mother's piano. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, so it's a connection of Remix and piano. They were so proud.
Okay, so let's continue with the okay. So you have the family, you have your kids, and you're very, very driven. You do a lot of Remix. So you're always doing new things. And so how do you make it work for yourself? How does it both mentally and physically?
Mentally and physically, 2 different things that I think that I have to work together.
Yes.
Mentally, I think on the added values that my kids get from seeing a driven professional mom who has a career and has hobbies and have a great relationship with dad.
That was the answer I was waiting for, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, definitely. Happy mom is a happy everything. You got to be doing something that's good for yourself.
Yeah, well, I learned it from my mother.
Yeah, sure.
They weren't home. They were working. They were building themselves. It's like the stigma of newly immigrants from Russia. They have a grandma at home. Totally my story.
Wow.
But I saw them loving every day and hugging the difficulties. And that's my lesson. And I'm not saying that it was easy for me during these 10 years to do what I do, but I loved it, and I still do. And I see my kids. They come to Remax. They know everybody. They see what I do. They know that I do meetings. Actually, it's a funny story.
They look up to you for it as well.
Yeah, they know that mom is doing something. Yeah. And they are part of it. Actually, I don't know if you know, but every August we have this kaitana when our kids are coming to the office.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I don't know what happens behind closed doors in Remax. I mean, we only get what we see with the Zooms, but I don't know what you guys do like between employees and in the family, the Remax Israel family.
So this is actually amazing. August is a hard time for parents to juggle between kids, no schools, no daycares, no nothing, and you have to still work. And so every summer, every August, we have a kaitana. They're coming with us. They have someone who's working with them, and we get to do our thing. And it's actually great because I get to work longer hours, which is nice.
Isn't that great?
For me, yes, because the hardest thing is for me is to have a list of things. And you said, physically, how do I do? I write everything down.
Yeah, you have a lot of lists. You're
this, right? Everybody are taking, you're like this, you're like, I have a lot of lists because I have a lot of things and projects going on, and I don't trust my brain to remember. So I do these little squares, to-do list, and I mark everything that I
You put
finish.
Everything into Google Calendar as well, or you have a list?
I have a calendar, which is, it's shared with my husband.
Okay.
So he knows where am I and what. Yeah, this is how we back up.
I have the same thing. My wife sees what's happening, and then she could schedule something on that.
This is how they experience our world. He's an engineer.
Uh-huh.
And I try to explain him what are we doing. The first years, he was like, why are you guys talking so much? Because he heard us over the phone. And it's like a house. You have a buyer. You have a seller.
What's the big deal?
That's it. You have an office. You have agents. What's the big deal? Yeah. So it took me a while to explain him. And the more he is involved and he knows what's going on, so I have more support.
Absolutely.
And less guilt.
Right. Well, the important thing is that your family's taken care of. So it doesn't have to be by you. It could be by anyone that can help you.
And they get inspired because it's funny. I began to tell you that I think a few years ago when my oldest, she was 3 years old. The Kaitana was over at 3, and I had 2 whole hours to train in Zinuk with the Asians. So she slept inside the class, and she wouldn't get out. And she wouldn't be quiet. I tried to put her, to draw something, and I find myself teaching 2 whole hours with her on my.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
But everyone was cool with it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Why not?
And she sees, and she learns, and when we were filming.
It's the best example. It's less talk and show your kids what you do.
This is how it works. This is what happened with my runnings. They know that I train. They know that I run. And she's like, Ima, wake me up early. I want to do this. During COVID, we slept downstairs, and she took her running shoes. And in the parking lot, she was running. So, and this is how I learned from my parents, to be inspirational, to love what you do, and to keep doing that. And I hope that my kids will learn that from me, and from my husband is also very career-wise oriented. So.
Awesome. So you mentioned Zinuk. Not everyone knows what Zinuk is.
Yes, let's talk about Zinuk.
Okay, let's talk a little about Zinuk, because Zinuk has gone through some evolution.
Yeah.
Remember before Corona, and then during Corona, and post-Corona. And you guys made some really amazing, you and Gil and yourself, did some really nice professional videos, VOD, just amazing. And now you changed it. So maybe you could talk a little about that, what's happening now, and what's the future?
What's the future? It's a good question. I would like to know myself.
If you're allowed to divulge it, yeah. Because we always want to up the game in Remax, right?
Right. I think that our strongest power is our ability to adapt to any situation and still be very oriented on staying active. Zinuk L'Asakim, quick start. For those who still are not acquainted with it, it's the basic course and the most professional course for any real estate agent who wants to build his business. We teach everything from mental, from how to recruit listings, presentations, handling objections. Anything you need to know is there. Zinuk, for me, when I joined Remax, was my exposure to what Remax is all about. And it's about driven people. It's about knowledge. It's not about reinventing the wheel over and over again. There is a system way that it works, not because we invented it, but because Remax exists actually next year for 50 years around the world. Yeah. The convention in Vegas, R4, is going to be wild.
Awesome.
So there's a lot to look forward to it. But there's a lot of knowledge that we brought from Remax in America, in Canada, in US, in Europe, and we bring it to Israel. We do Brit Milah. We adapt it to the Israeli market, but then we teach what works. So when I got to see it, it was for the first time. It was mind-blowing.
Who was teaching it then? When you came in as learning from someone else.
Yeah, I think that it's a good question.
I think Yamit was there then.
Everybody were there. Gil was there. Yamit was there. Doron was there.
Doron Alush. I remember him.
Yeah,
he's doing some medical thing now, right? I don't know.
He's doing business development for a medical company who's specializing, I think, with something with teeth implants.
Yeah, teeth implants. Something like that. I just see him on Facebook.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He was great, and
the team is great.
Yes,
I have to say the team is amazing. Everybody are so different from one another.
Yeah.
But
everyone brings their talents to play, and you mesh together.
Yeah. So I think Gil was.
And that's from Bernard. Bernard he knows how to pick the right people. That's for sure, and he knows how to get them motivated. Right? I'm assuming. Tell me from your side. I mean, because you guys have to stay motivated because you already did Zinuk for a while, whatever. Maybe it gets boring or something, but it's what keeps you excited? Right?
It's funny. My best friend.
Yeah.
Every time we meet, she's like, Natasha, you've been teaching this course. She's not, into details, for almost 10 years. And she asked me the same. Aren't you bored?
I wouldn't be able to do it for 10 years.
So the thing is, it's just like an agent. Think about it.
Sure.
If there's an agent and he's 10 years into business, then it's the same objections and it's the same presentation, it's the same scripts. But what's, give you the thrill
the pill. You need some pepper. You need that spice in there.
For
you
me,
keep spicy.
For me, it's the people.
Yeah.
Every course is different because there are different people.
Different dynamics.
Different dynamics.
But you also have technology changing and you have new things coming up, which that adds a little more the spice in there.
Plus, Zinuk changed.
Yeah. So tell us about how it's changed, because I took it in 2012.
When?
2012.
Wow. Yeah, a while back.
A year before you came in.
Yeah. So Zinuk evolved. It was totally frontal, 6 days. It still is 6 days.
Like 6 whole days, once a week.
6 weeks, 6 weeks, once a week. And it always brought best practice from the field to the students inside the class so they could, just take whatever works and activate it in their business.
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
Not stop you.
Please do.
It's a very important thing for me anyway. Mm-hmm. Where do you get your stuff from? You say you get it from the field. How do you go about it? How do you do it? Yes, I want your secrets. I want all of your secrets, because I'm going to do it tomorrow, right?
You are a secret. And
I'm a secret?
You're a secret, and your agents and broker owners. We don't invent anything. And I think that the hardest thing, and I had this conversation, I think last week, that our, mission is to convince you that what we're bringing to the table actually works. Because if you don't believe in it, then you won't do it.
Absolutely.
And so we have to bring proof of concept all the time. So before we create content, before we create a Remember training, or before we create the new content that we brought to the new version of Zinuk L'Asakim, we interview. We go to the best agents. We go to the best broker owners. We go to the best recruiters in Israel, in the industry, and we interrogate them. This is the right word to phrase it. We interrogate. We have gazillion questions, and we ask them the most practical things. How do you do this? How do you say? What's your text? Wait, stop a minute. Let me type it down. And then when we bring you the text, it's something that the best agents and the best producers...
Best practices.
Yeah, they worked. I don't invent anything. We're just the messengers. So when we bring you ideas, it's not out of nowhere. It's because people already implement. And this is how the network works. If we had questions during COVID, let's talk a little bit about the COVID. We were stuck at home. We wanted to keep doing business. We couldn't do showings. Yeah. And I said, oh my God, what's
Virtual
going on?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, you did it before that, but we had to figure out what's going on. So we spoke with Remax Turkey. I actually participated, I don't know if you know this, I participated in trainings from Remax Portugal and Remax Turkey in their native language. I didn't.
What?
Yeah, I was like.
You speak Turkish?
No Turkish, no Italian.
Wow.
And no,
but you picked it up just on this context and the.
I picked it up, and then I contacted people in my positions in Remax Portugal and in Italy, and I was talking with them in English, connecting the dots.
Yes.
And then when we brought the virtual open houses, it was after we did this interrogation, and Gil did his part with bringing the technology with the 360 cameras, and we built it together. Not because we knew it by ourselves. Actually, our profession is interrogating and bringing the best knowledge.
Professional interrogators.
Yeah, where's the lamp that is,
right.
upstairs? Yeah.
So, look, new agents that come to me and say, okay, why do I have to take this course for? I took, or there was something else. Let me hear about it, a little about that, okay? Someone took a course somewhere else. I'm not going to say where, okay? And they say, okay, I already took, there's a gazillion courses out there. And, well, you just sent something really, really important, because this is not just theory. It's not someone that doesn't know, sits back and, okay, well, I'm going to tell you about real estate. He has no idea what's happening really in the shatach, in the field. So I think that's one of the major differences. But let me hear from your side. Why is it important for someone to take the course of Zinuk, even if they took other courses?
Well, it's a little bit not objective.
100%.
For me to promote Zinuk. But let's think about it in cold mind.
Yes.
Okay, let's say that you're opening a business, and financially, you want to earn as much money waste less time and less money on the process of building and make less mistakes. It will cost you a lot more money, right? This is how we think as business owners.
Right.
Okay. So if I'm building a business in real estate, I don't have physical things that I have to buy. I don't have chairs. I don't have tables. I don't have
you're saying as a real estate
agent. As an agent. We're talking about agent. I'm not talking about broken owners. Totally different. Yeah, it's a totally different opera.
Yeah.
But as a...
No, I don't know. I wouldn't fully agree with you saying even an agent, because I think even agents, some of them have some really great technology stuff that they invest in, great computers and cameras and all sorts of things, and they also invest in software and CRM. So
listen,
there is investment.
This business is about people.
Yeah.
Okay? It's crucial to have what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But you need to know what to do with it.
Absolutely.
Okay? And you want to waste less time on making mistakes and trying out things, okay? So if you were, let's say, a restaurant owner, then you invest money in food, in the rent, and place, etc., etc. Here you need to invest money in knowledge, because in this business you're the one who's operating it as an agent, right? So if we think about it in clear mind, you have 6 weeks. Once a week where you sit in class and you get this all knowledge on a silver platter where, in the army say, katuv bedam, when other
written
people...
in blood,
Written in blood, yeah, exactly. So it's written in the blood of agents where they sweated before, they made mistakes, and they making the...
And you get the benefit from it.
Yeah.
From their, they'll say, okay, don't do this. Don't waste your time with that. And wow, I saved myself 20,000 shekel right there. Or I saved a bunch of time.
And you know what? When you see new agents succeed in their first quarter, their first year, it's because they implemented the knowledge that they already received from
they followed the book.
Yeah, they followed the book. Not because they're yes men, but because they get the idea.
Or they're actually trusting their broker. And the broker is saying, listen, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you be successful. So you could do it that way, or you could do it by the way that works. Okay, we already have systems in place. All you got to do is just follow the book. Okay, and if a agent is humble enough, okay, I'll use that word loosely, to just open himself and says, I don't know anything. Okay, even if I've been an agent 5 years somewhere else. Okay. I joined Remax. I joined a really great brokerage. I'm just going to follow what they tell me to do.
Yeah, there is a way of making business. And our friend, whom you've heard many times, Ken McLaughlin, who's arriving to Israel, I think next month. Yeah, we're waiting for you, Ken, if you're hearing this.
We're going to send you this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
it's all in English.
He said, in I think one of his visits, he said proudly, this is how we do business. This is our way. We have proof of concept. Remember, we have to prove everything. Our agents are the most productive agents in the world, in Israel. If you joined Remax, and even if you have an experience as an agent, you chose to do better in business. So you have to change something in the way you did business before. Or if you're a new agent and you're building everything from scratch, and sometimes it's easier because you're clean. You don't have all that.
I'll tell you the truth. When I recruit a newer agent, it's easier for me, in a way.
To mold it.
Yeah, to mold them. Because they're a clean canvas, as they say, like blank canvas. And it's, like they say, it's hard to you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
You can.
You can, but the dog has to be able to want to be able to.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Dog.
And it's hard. It's like, I was in martial arts, right? Way back, okay? And
I didn't know that.
You don't know a lot of things about it. It's okay. So if you come from a karate or a boxing thing and you've been learning karate for many, many years, and all of a sudden someone's teaching you jiu-jitsu, it's a whole different thing. It's all soft and everything like that. You just automatically go to that, whatever. And it's so hard to unlearn. It's very difficult because your brain is set in a certain way, and that's the thing. It's really a mindset, and you have to really, and it takes a long time. It does. It's much longer from if you've already been doing something a certain way for a long time. If someone's, for example, not been working with exclusivity, okay, and you know what I'm talking about, okay.
It's. I don't think it's unlearning.
It's relearning, and also at the same time pushing
old habits back.
Backwards.
Yeah,
it's together. It's together.
You mentioned martial arts.
Yeah.
There is you'll help me with the English, חגורה לבנה, the white
belt.
White belt, exactly. This is the state of mind. You have to have a white belt state of mind when you're doing something new, even if you have an experience of years and you did it some other way. Then you say, thank you for this experience.
Yes.
I'm putting it aside, for example, for a minute to learn something new. And when I'll be, more, let's say, confident and I have more knowledge of the new way and I'll be professional in the new way, I could look back and say, something that I did are working for me here. Some things aren't. But this is the mentality, to be clean, to learn new things. I totally agree with you.
You have to have the learning mindset, which is constantly learning. I mean, I see a lot of agents that have been there for years in the Russian, they kind of like don't go too much to the training sessions as much, or they don't join the in-house simulations or team meetings because they feel, I'm doing.
I know that already.
You know that, yeah. So
right?
it's right. I know that already, and that know that already thing is really, I think, one of the biggest obstacles for someone to develop and to grow. Okay?
I agree.
Because in my mind, there's no such thing as everything. The opposite. You should think I know nothing. Okay. And things are changing so dynamically. So what I knew a year ago is almost worthless right now.
The thing is, it's funny you're talking, and we have the same challenges, let's say, with broker owners, because every time we have a training or we have a convention or something like that, we personally call everybody, and you know that.
Yeah.
We always call.
Shlomo, how come you're not joining? What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is something that we know.
And good you do it, because it slips my mind, and that follow-up does the trick. I'm telling you. It's not about that you're not nudging me. You're not being...
I'm a good nudgnik.
No, but it's actually... People think, that if... let's say I want to list a property, I'm going to call the guy again and again and again to follow up. I'm going to be a nudnik.
But that's the same. They're not thinking about us.
They're not thinking about us.
And you have gazillion of things you need to do.
Yeah.
Gazillions of check marks that you have to put every day.
Yes.
And you have so much information flowing your way that I know, we get it. So this is why we call it. But the challenge is sometimes when truly broker owners are saying, listen, we're swamped. And I've been with this for so many years. And I went to every convention. And I know this. And our single question that we always ask, and this is something that you ask your questions, it's not about the knowing. Are you implementing everything you know?
No way.
And that's it. And this,
not even close.
This is our sin.
But that's what we got to keep striving to add more and to add more. There's no way I can implement. I mean, there's so many things I want to do.
Exactly.
And I know that I'm not doing it, okay? And that's important, to know that you're not doing things.
Yeah, and
okay? And then, you know what? You should have what's called a drawer plan, Tochnit Megirah, we say in Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
That you should, every month, let me add one more thing to it.
Exactly.
Okay?
And when
I have time or in between this, and prioritize. Prioritize is very important. Don't do the stupid stuff that is, I'll say it that word, okay? There's more important things. Do the more important things first.
Yeah.
And, but, you also got to keep doing new things, adding to it, and whatever you add, this is me speaking, so you can disagree with it, but whatever you add one more thing, but be consistent. Don't just add it and stop, because it's, and this is like the podcast we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's difficult to keep it up because there's a lot of other things going on.
True.
But
I
make it my
faith.
business. I gotta, I saw you at the Mifchan Metafrim, I said, Natasha, when are we doing a thing?
True.
So, okay, let's put in.
You are very consistent.
I sat with you, and I was a nudnik with you, and so we did it.
But it's true. Yeah. This is first of all, it's the personal relationship.
Yeah.
For agents with their clients, for us with our broker owner. This is what we do in Remax Israel. We first of all, we cherish the people who choose to be with us. Yeah. This is true, and we do our best to constantly bring value to you guys in different angles. But the thing is, and I think you'll agree with me, we don't do anything that is so new that you get here, you grab your head and you say, oh my God, why didn't you do that 10 years ago? Right. It's always the same. It's
incremental. It's slightly, you up it slowly. You don't just boom.
Yes, and we find different ways to strengthen the same message, the growth message for broker owners of growing your business and recruiting agents. it's always there. You saw it today when we did the tadrich for the open houses. I spoke about recruiting agents because
that's the first time I remember anyway that you spoke about how you use the open house for recruiting agents.
Yes,
that was a good idea. That's
because
great.
I said, why not?
Sure.
Why not? And it's always
you have something going on. Milk it to your advantage. Use it in every which way. Get it out to Facebook. Get it out to, and we have a very good idea what we're going to do. Hopefully, I want to do a live.
Yes, we'll find a way to do it.
Okay, we're going to do it. I'm not going to even say anything, right? We shouldn't tell
No, we'll find a way to do it, and then we'll
hopefully something really exciting for our open house. We're going to do something earth-shattering, trailblazing.
But the KPIs are always there. More agents, more listings,
more
training. Yeah,
it's very, very simple. It's
simple but not easy.
It's simple, not right. To implement is very, but the concept's so simple.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to be a rocket science. It's if you're an agent, it's get more and more ability. It's more listings. Okay, more meetings. Really, that's where it really boils down.
Yeah.
It's not
more follow-ups.
More follow-ups. It's all about the contact. More contacts. More contacts. It's the same thing with recruiting as a broker. Bring more and more contacts with more potential agents. Okay, get out there, give out business cards, speak to people virtually and Facebook and in the street. It's all the same thing. It's just making more and more contacts. That's all it is. It's a very simple concept. Okay, and so don't make it too complicated. Honestly, I think people just make things too complicated.
You know what complicates everything?
Yeah,
our fears.
What's the fear?
What's the fear of rejection?
Yeah.
Of somebody.
I get that every day. Yeah. But you know what I do? I say, okay, I know every 10 rejections, I get one yes. So I know that's part of my yes.
This is the mental strength that you developed.
Yeah.
But if you go back and you think about new agents and you work with them like crazy and you put your heart and mind to building businesses here, they have tons of fears. And I see them once a week in Zinuk and they say, wait, you seriously want me to go outside and knock on some stranger's house and beg for him to take me? Seriously? And this is what's going on.
I think the problem is that they're thinking to beg. I mean, they're not thinking of that they have something to offer the seller that the seller doesn't have themselves.
So it's
not that you're begging. You're saying you need what I have.
So this is the in between, because you say you're right. It's simple, it's clear, and it's hard. Because we have to work on our heads. We have to do things that we weren't used to.
Yeah.
And this business brings a lot of new things to do. If let's say, if we have agents who were teachers, they never did marketing. And they always knew the families that they were, the parents were coming to them for Teacher's Day with their parents. They didn't go to the houses.
Right.
And now they said, you know what, I retired as a teacher. I want to be a real estate agent. Teachers are the best.
I know that.
They're the best. They do the
Absolutely.
best.
Because they have great communication skills. They just know how to explain things. They talk a little slower than everyone. That's what I find. But which is good. Which is good.
Which is great.
Especially for me. Hebrew is not my main language. But
they do amazing objection handling.
Yeah.
Living with kids, 40 kids in class.
That's objection handling all day.
If you live it.
Yeah.
So let's say this teacher retired at 60 and they want to do real estate. They can be amazing. We have amazing experience with retired teachers. And all of a sudden I have to do Facebook and marketing and do, go to people and not wait for them to come to me. It's a different set of mind that I have to develop.
It's a lot of hats.
Yes, and this is why it's so difficult, because the barriers is not the business is so complicated. It's my personal barriers that I have to overcome. And this is why here I am not being objective. We have the best opportunity to go through it, because you're not by yourself. You're a part of an office, and you have your broker owners. You have some of our offices have trainers just like you guys. And you have people who are walking you through your fears because they work with other agents just like you. And they go with you to presentations, and they go with you to do some marketing outside. And they teach you, it's not teaching, it's treating you.
Holding your hand throughout the process. I think that was something, when I was an agent, I kind of missed out on that a little. That I kind of felt like I was alone in my own place and to fend for myself, which in a way was good, in a way not. But the hand-holding is very important, because even down the line, it's not just at the beginning. I think people go through all sorts of ups and downs in this business, and you really need someone to just to vent and just to get it out of your system, or to know, okay, this is what happened. What do I do to continue?
Right.
So, and being in a family, in a place where you have other agents that you could talk to, and someone
and learn from,
and a coach or something like that is very, very important in this day and age. I think an agent without someone, a mentor or a coach or something like that, it's really, really not a good place to be.
I have to say something to this, right? You and I were giving services. You were to your agents. I'm to our broker owners, right? But everybody have to be able to demand this. If an agent is coming to an office and he's sitting on his place and waiting for something to happen, it's not going to happen.
Agreed.
And they have to come to the broker owners, and they have to pick up the phone and call, us to get an advice, or go to some agents in the office and say, listen, you have a presentation, I'm joining you, which hour? And they have to create their reality by themselves.
In other words, more responsible on the side of the agent. Don't expect that everyone's going to run after you. I could tell you the truth. If there's an agent that we keep calling, he doesn't show up to whatever it is, after a while, or they want to do, there are agents that just want to be left alone. Those kind of agents?
Yeah.
Okay, there are few different types of agents, but one of them just wants to be left alone. Okay, I'm just going to do my thing, and I have the office, I'm just using the office. Okay, and that's okay.
If they're performing?
They're performing, but even so, I a good agent for me, my ideal agent is someone that doesn't just use the office and leave me alone. They're participating, okay? And it's great for them. The truth is not just good for everyone else. It's good for them, because people see them all the time, and they get all these referrals, and people look up to them, and it gives them a different position, so I really believe it's in their interest, and they should be doing that. So, but on the other hand, there's responsibility. It's a two-way thing. The broker owners are here.
It's called accountability.
Yeah. Okay, I'm here for you. I'm here to give you the platform to help you build your business, but it's got to come from you. Okay, you need to chase me more than I'm chasing you, because if I feel I'm chasing someone, I'm not going to waste my time with that agent. I'm going to put my money or my time in someone that's working. Okay?
It's the same. If we think about it, the same will happen with homeowners or buyers. If they will have to chase their agent and call him instead of him calling them, then they say, okay, I'm going to go for someone else.
Absolutely.
And it's the same. And this is a thing that people who join RE/MAX, they have to understand that they're building a business. And many years, I think it's now too, the slogan of RE/MAX was building your business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Love it.
And it's simply...
I got to put that on the wall. I like that one.
Good. Yeah. It's not mine. It's RE/MAX. I just stole it.
I know. Right? There's so many things, but I think that's one of the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, because it puts all the responsibility and accountability on your shoulders, and saying, listen, this amazing platform of broker owners, trainers, courses, trainings, whatever you want. Think about our control platform. It's an intranet filled with content and marketing materials, whatever you want.
RE/MAX Control is amazing. Whoever doesn't know what it is, there are a lot of agents in RE/MAX that are not.
I don't get it. Why? How is it possible?
I spoke to Gil about this, and I think that it's just so much stuff there.
True.
And maybe there needs to be a little more like a basic, like a smaller version.
You
or something.
begin as a guest.
Yeah.
You get a little peek.
Slowly, just. Don't give them too much right away, because they're just blown away.
Think about it. RE/MAX in Israel is almost for 30 years soon, in 2 years or so. Something like that, yeah. There's so much content and experience. Crazy. And we uploaded almost everything to the system, to the control, because we visioned that if someone will have a question or something they're looking for, they could question, like we're going to Google, and we'll find an answer. And if something will be missing, we'll find the solution. We'll have it. When something is missing, okay, we have an opportunity to develop something. So I agree with you. There is so much to it that you have to.
It's overwhelming in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's great because I like, but it's like a toy store.
Yeah, but the thing is that the accountability lies on the agent's shoulder. The accountability lies on your shoulder. And on the trainer's shoulder. We have to provide it. But if there's something who's not using it and it's not in their interest, we cannot in any way want more that they want from themselves.
You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
So you guys got to be responsible.
You said it nicely.
Well, that's a thing we're saying. But we're here to do our best to help you. I'm talking to agents right now to be successful, but it's got to come from you. Okay, look at it as your own business that you. Paying for a service, think of us as the broker, as they're providing you a service, okay? So they're not going to run after you. The service call, what do you guys need? Okay, I need some graphics, I need this and that. Okay, so they're going to help you.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask, it's not going to
happen.
So we do our best anyway to try to remotivate.
Of course.
But there's a limit. And, there's only so many resources and time especially, and the ones who are working are the ones that deserve it. Okay. So if someone's working, I don't care if he's actually closing deals or not, but if he's trying really hard, or she's trying very hard, I'm going to give them all the time that they need.
We had a story actually on our last broker owner course. And we always, we're proving concept, right? So if we're teaching something, then we'll go to the best offices to see how it works. So we went to Remax Success in Ramle and Lod.
Great office.
And Avi told us a story. Avi he's one of the broker owners. He told us a story about one of their agents that in the first year, she maybe did about 40,000 shekels in deals. The whole year.
That's crazy.
But she was driven. And she was constantly calling him and asking questions and participating in every meeting, session, training, whatever they did and doing in their office. And they have the same approach as you have. If you are there, if you're serious about your business, we're serious about you. And in the second year, if I'm not mistaken, she was close to 1 million shekels.
It's amazing. So what was that switch, by the way, that she made? How did she go from 40,000 all of a sudden to 1 million?
It was Avi's change.
So what was it?
That he realized that he need to let her fly.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my concept. I personally don't go on presentations with agents. Why? Because I want them to learn by themselves. I want it to fall. It's okay. And say, after you fell, come back to the office, let's do a simulation. Because I really believe that if you constantly bring someone with you, you're always going to have that crutch, and you're never going to have that your own personal, bitachon atzmi, as we call it, confidence.
You're activating your grit. You need to do it.
You have to just jump in. Okay, I really believe in the penguin approach. You throw your kids in the water and they swim. Okay, and not without any livui, without any help
but you have to do it.
You have to do it. Don't be afraid. From the first day. Oh, why? When I get my business card, when I have it? No. There's no when. Now is the time. And now get out there, jump in, knock on doors, okay? And you'll see how many doors will open up for you. Don't be afraid, okay? Because this business is about not being afraid.
Yeah.
Okay?
And it's a change that the broker owner did. And it set her free. It's not that he disappeared, as you said. He was still there.
He went backwards in a way, which is nice.
But and she went through the difficulties and she grew.
Yes.
And this is it. We're in a business of helping people grow. And our excuse is real estate. That's it.
Great. So, okay, we have to come to an end, right? Because this has been really long. I think this is almost longer than the one from Leslie.
Oh, my goodness.
I have so much more to talk to you about, but maybe we'll do another chapter. Chapter 2. Okay, so anyway, I'd love to thank you again so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Natasha,
it's a pleasure.
It's a lot of fun with you, great conversation, and I hope our viewers learn something. And by the way, you guys can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google Podcast, and on Apple Podcast.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere. So just Google us, okay? Remax Momentum. And it was nice to have you guys. And till the next podcast. Shalom from Yerushalayim.
Bye.